Hi everybody, Tom Oates from the State Journal here. Today's topic is the Green Bay Packers. Halfway through their season, they're 5-3. Bye week, looks like a perfect time to take stock and see what, and maybe take a look ahead to the second half of the season. 5-3 record, I think, is a mild disappointment. I had them at 6-2. Didn't anticipate that the Lions' defense would be so good or really shut down the Packers early in the season. Might not shut them down quite as well today because the Packers' offense is playing better. But by and large, 5-3, easier portion of the schedule. Coming up, 5 home games in the final 8. Again, helping the schedule. But let's take just a little checklist of what's going on. I think the offense is fine. Struggled a bit early with running the ball. Struggled a bit with not enough passing targets for Aaron Rodgers. It's really hit his stride the last 4 or 5 games. Rodgers is playing outstanding football. I think Eddie Lacy and the running game they're slowly coming around. I think at one point Mike McCarthy wanted to make running the focal point of the offense. That doesn't work. They've gotten back to what they do best. They pass the ball and then they run off the pass, and Lacy will be fine. The only question I thought on offense early in the year was the lack of tight ends, and the lack of a third wide receiver has really hurt. Devontae Adams coming around as a rookie and playing some outstanding football has really alleviated both problems. I think it's given Rodgers a third receiver to go to, and it's kind of mitigated the loss of Jermichael Finley as a tight end. Defensively, there's some things the Packers are doing that I think are good. I know Dom Capers isn't, if his name was on the ballot in the election coming up, he wouldn't be winning anything. But some of the things they're doing is good. I think the back end has performed pretty well for the most part. Short-handed, I don't think it did a very good job in New Orleans. But for the most part, there have been takeaways, which are integral to any Dom Capers defense. They've prevented some, for the most part, long passes. Clearly, they've even gotten some decent heat on the passer at times. Clearly, the biggest problem is stopping the run. And any team, even in the pass-happy NFL of today, you have to be able to run and you have to be able to stop the run, at least decently. And I don't think so far that just hasn't happened. Teams have gashed them. Running backs, Marshawn Lynch hit them in the opener, you understand that. But since then, backs have hit them with 180, 200-yard games that just don't belong doing that. I think it's people want to talk about Dom Capers and blame him. I think it's a personnel issue. I think the loss of Raji has really hurt this defense. I think if you go down the line, the personnel in the interior of the defense, the 3 linemen, the 3 down linemen, or 2 down linemen, depending on what they're using, and then the 2 inside linebackers just don't match up. It's a real struggle. You're not going to change that during the course of the season, so Capers is going to really have to find a way to work around that and get the run stopped. I don't think they're ever going to get it stopped, at least get it slowed down. And if the Packers can get the running attack slowed down of the opponent, I think they could go 6-2 and here in the back half of the season, 7-1 maybe even, and that would certainly put them in the playoffs and probably give them the the North Division title. I'm still a child of the 80s and 90s Central Division. But no, I'm talking the North Division title. And I think it's still a realistic possibility. The Lions are better than we thought. But if the Packers shore up that run defense, I think that game against Detroit, at the last game of the season, will probably determine the NFC North title.